This was a terrible weekend for newcomer films Tron Ares, Roofman, and The Kiss of the Spider Woman. Thanks for tuning in to this weekend's box office winners. Now before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss what movies are killing it at the box office. And now let's dive into the numbers. To start off, we have the big movie of the weekend, Tron Ares, which debuted to $33.5 million domestically, plus another $27 million internationally for a $60.5 million global debut. And what makes this so interesting is that this movie has the exact same opening as Taylor Swift's The Life of a Showgirl, which debuted last weekend for an exclusive 3-day run. Yet a key difference is that Tron Ares had a huge $180 million budget. Now, originally, estimates were eyeing the film to open with about $40 to $45 million in the States, but the film couldn't even do that, likely due to some contributing factors, like the star of the film, Jared Leto, the public's view on Disney at the moment, and more simply, maybe people weren't excited to revisit this 43-year-old franchise. And what makes this even worse is that this film opened lower than the second film, Tron Legacy, which opened in 2010 to $44 million domestically. And considering that those were 2010 numbers, this makes it incredibly disappointing and scary for all involved. Now, the film did earn a B+ cinema score, which does match Tron Legacy's cinema score, but this film only had a 57% definite recommend on PulseTrack, which is quite low. So now let's talk demos on who showed up. Men made up 68% of ticket buyers, with the 18 to 34 age group at 52%, while the IP's core age group, Gen X, which are over 45, made up only 25% of the audience, and the film could not attract younger groups as only 30% of the total audience was younger than 25. Diversity demos were as follows: 49% Caucasian, 23% Latino/Hispanic, 12% African American, and 11% Asian American. Premium formats were extremely popular though, as 67% of the audience saw the film on a premium format like ScreenX, Dolby, IMAX, or D-Box. And 3D theaters alone yielded 31% of the opening, and IMAX yielded 20% of the opening. Now let's check out the rest of the top 10. In second place was Paramount's Roofman, which debuted to $8 million. Now this isn't terrible, especially since the film only cost $19 million, so profitability isn't that far off. The film also received a B+ cinema score and had a good gender split at 53% men. And interestingly, 41% of the audience showed up with a spouse or partner, making it a small date movie. Also, the diversity demos were as follows: 55% Caucasian, 20% Latino/Hispanic, 10% African American, 8% Native American, and 7% Asian American. And number 3 was One Battle After Another, which made another $6.6 million in weekend 3, and dropping a healthy 39%. Domestically, it's made $54 million, and worldwide, it's at $138 million. However, as mentioned, the film has a hefty $130 million budget. But let's hope award season keeps the film afloat. And number 4 was Gabby's Saw House, which brought another $3.3 million and dropping a healthy 37%. The film has made $26 million domestically and $45 million worldwide. And number 5 was Soul on Fire, which debuted to $3 million, which is not bad for a small film. And coming in at number 6 was The Conjuring Last Rites, making another $2.9 million and dropping only 29% from last weekend. It's now at $172 million domestic and $473 million globally, and it's on track to surpass $500 million. At number 7 was Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, making another $2.2 million in weekend number 5, down just 36% from last weekend. It's now made $128.6 million in the States, officially becoming the highest grossing international film in the United States, surpassing Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And it has also made $655 million globally, making it the 5th highest grossing movie of the year. And number 8 was The Smashing Machine, making only $1.7 million in weekend 2 and dropping a harsh 69%. And worldwide, it's only made $11 million, making it a complete disaster for a film that cost $50 million. And number 9 was The Strangers Chapter 2, which made another $1.5 million, dropping 45% from last weekend. The film has made $15 million worldwide, which once again speaks volumes that maybe this franchise is officially done. And rounding out the top 10 was Good Boy from IFC Films, which made another $1.3 million in weekend 2 and dropping a healthy 36%. And I am so glad that Good Boy is finding an audience, as it's one of the most creative horror films of the year. And that wraps up this weekend's box office winners. And guess what? J-Lo's Kiss of the Spider Woman couldn't even debut in the top 10, as it only made $1 million in its debut, showing that audiences just don't want to pay to see Jared Leto or J-Lo. Anyways, let me know in the comments what movie, if any, did you see in theaters this weekend? And don't forget to like and subscribe and tune in next weekend to see how The Black Phone 2 debuts in theaters. And as always, keep watching.